folks, welcome to another chapter sequel for the people of the Urbantoons new exclusive radio show. I am your host, King Kiel, and this is the new show. How's everybody doing this week? I hope all is well. My week is going pretty good. Very, very good. I mean, this has been a great new year, so all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. We're going to talk about this trip that I took to Africa back in October, which was a beautiful, beautiful trip. The people are nice and warm and so giving, which was something that I haven't experienced since I, went down South Carolina or, something like that. Being in the Philadelphia area where, the people in Philly are a little rough. Like they said, you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I feel if you can make it in Philadelphia, you can really make it anywhere. But just the people alone, how giving and warm and friendly they were, it was such a beautiful and a surreal experience. We accomplished so much in a short period of time, which is really great. We did a media launch, we did radio, we did television, we read to the kids, we went to a village and we read in the village and gave away books and pens, and we really left our mark in Africa, with South Africa, for the little short period of time we were there. So kudos to that. I will be making another trip back to Africa because we went initially for business. A group of guys reached out to me via social media. They loved the work, they loved the movement, they wanted to bring it to Africa. But the initial conversation was, we want to come to you in America. We want to meet you. I'm like, you want to meet me? Me? On my Soulja Boy, me? You want to meet me? So I'm like, well, listen, I want to go to Africa. I ain't never been to Africa. My whole life, I fantasized and dreamt about going to the motherland, and and I always wanted to do business in the motherland. I do business in Ghana for the dial dresses of Shakur. I have a guy in Ghana who's making the dresses for Shakur, and sending me pocketbooks and stuff like that. I had put my mom on. She had her own little business selling pocketbooks. She did pretty good. So I already had connections in Ghana. But when a group of guys reached out to me in South Africa, I was like on my Jerry Maguire. You had me at hello. I was ready to go right from the rip. So I'm like, all right, listen, I'll come to you guys. And they were like really ecstatic. I'm like, oh my God, we'll make this a rememberable experience for you that you remember for the rest of your life, my brother. I'm like, all right, dope. Let's go. Fast forward, I get there. It was like he fulfilled everything he said he was going to do. We did a lot of beautiful things. So while I was in Africa, I was just like, canvassing the landscape, wondering how I can help the people here for what I do in America and what I know how to do and with the resources I have. So I'm looking, I'm like, wow, they have their Wi-Fi is limited here. I'm looking around like, wow, this Wi-Fi, like even my business partner, we had to actually go to a hotel and sit in the lobby just to, use Wi-Fi because it was very expensive. He had a router, but we didn't want to burn his router up, a portable pocket one. So I'm like, all right, cool. I see the Wi-Fi is lackluster. And, when I went to the villages and I'm looking around, I'm like, wow, I don't see like any libraries or where did they get books besides the stores we went to do our book reading. It was like 2 black bookstores, which was dope. But when you get away from Johannesburg and when you go like Pretoria and you go further up and you're going deeper and further up into the mountains where people don't have access to vehicles and stuff like that, the community is the community. So I'm like, wow, imagine if we can put some like a library or like a building library here and put our books in here and give them Wi-Fi access. So I had that idea in my head after we did a book reading at my business partner Capono Moray, his village where he grew up. And he told me, like, look, we have the building here. We just want to, fill it up with books and shelves and give them Wi-Fi and, make it great for the kids. So I'm like, listen, I'm on board. I needed something that I wanted to work. I wanted a project that I could take back to America and, make that happen. So I'm like, all right, look, that's going to be one of my objectives. We're going to do a village library and we're going to add the books and so on. And we're going to make this the template to a lot of villages, and we're going to give them a library, and computers for the kids, and, incorporate STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Now it's STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. I'm like, now we can incorporate STEM, like we can make this great, and we can get funding for this. Before I went to Africa, I was already approved from the state for my nonprofit, which was great, but I didn't realize, like, all right, you get the state approval, but then you need that tax exemption, and that's the 501c3. So I'm like, I've been waiting for that for the longest of time. So I'm like, all right, when these things come together as one, like Voltron, I'm going back to Africa, and we're going to get this thing up and running. So by the grace of God, and everything went well, I was able to get my 501c3 I received the paperwork last week. I was the only person in American history who was looking for a letter from the IRS, and it wasn't a tax return. But I was waiting for that tax exemption letter, or it's called the determination letter. And that's the letter you carry to different places when you go and get for charitable things for people. So I'm like, all right, dope. I got my determination letter. Now, this is going to change the whole landscape for Urbantoons Publishing. Now, we're going to just sit there and donate our books to communities in need in America and outside of America. So that's going to be something that we're working on right now. We're going to start doing some fundraising, start reaching out to these corporations like, listen, this is what we're doing in America. This is what we're doing in Africa. We have books in Haiti. We have books in Puerto Rico. We have books in Europe. We have books in South Africa. We can put books all over for children and adults. Because, I have the Black Star Line Publishing, where I'm republishing all the old classical books of Marcus Garvey, Frederick Douglass, Solomon North, all those classical stories. I'm republishing that under the Black Star Line Publishing with Soldier of the Truth, Harriet Tubman, all these great, great books that I can update. I'm doing it. So I'm going to have stuff for the children. I'm going to have stuff for the adults. So this is going to be a great and amazing experience. So I'm going to need everybody's support, especially for the fundraising. Especially for the fundraising that I'm going to start doing soon. But besides, all the business and technical stuff, Africa was beautiful. So beautiful. Just looking at the trees and the different animals, birds, and how the birds make their nest. Birds in America make their nest from the it's open on the top part so they can fly up and down, which I noticed. I'm like, oh, okay. The African birds, they make their nest like a cocoon. It's similar to the village huts from, early days. Maybe some people maybe still live in those in Kenya, like the Maasai warriors and those different tribes where you see like the little hut, like if the ones that are further out still, in an inhabited land. Well, those huts are built up, and it's like not a point, but it's round on the top and it's down. It's hard to explain, but it's round. The same hut the Maasai warriors and the huts you see traditionally when you see like documentaries or pictures and stuff like that, I noticed the birds make the same hut. So I'm wondering that the people emulate the birds and how they built their structure of living. And I was just thinking a little bit deep. I'm like, wow, because I see like these little cocoons everywhere, and they're actually bird houses, bird nests. And even how some of the old, no, even some of the newer construction, how they build the houses there, they build it kind of similar to the structure of the traditional hut, but they just modernize it, and it looks like really good. I mean, expensive houses, like it's pretty cool how the engineers and people over there, not engineers, but the architects in Africa, they're really amazing. But like I said, it was a very warm and surreal experience. I'll be going back this year by the grace of God. So Urbantoons Africa is moving and it's like fully operational. They're doing pretty good, distributing the books, and everything is on the up and up with the Urbantoons Africa movement. So I have distribution in South Africa, which is going to spread from South Africa further up. So that is working right now. So everybody's working. Everybody's working. So, but the one thing I noticed about, one thing I noticed about the trip to Africa is the resilience of South Africans. Like, these people went through some horrendous times during the apartheid era, and how they were treated was like very, very sad and like depressing. That was the only part of the trip where it was like a decline from the high going up, was to see how the people were treated in the apartheid era. And apartheid wasn't that far and that long ago. The apartheid era ended in 1992. That's when they released Nelson Mandela and he became president. So it wasn't really like it was a long time ago. Like, this is like ancient history. This is like really relevant. It was real relevant and, up to date things. Like, I was still alive during the apartheid era. I didn't know anything. I was too young for one, but I was still, a lot of us who are, over the ages of 30 plus, you were alive during this era when things were going on, and it was real for some of those people at that time. And a lot of people who fought back, either were killed or they were thrown in jail, and jails were even more horrific. I walked into some of these cells and I've seen the living condition of being in a box. I've seen the food that they serve to our people over there. And I've seen how racism, even with food, how certain groups of people would get meat compared to other groups. Our people will get beans and water and rice. And if they did receive meat, it would be like soiled meat or fish or something like that. So it was a rough time. Like, those people are very resilient, and I respect the spirit of those South Africans. Beautiful people, beautiful, beautiful people. Let me see if I'm still recording. My screen cut off. Yeah, very beautiful people. So even in the songs they sing about revolution. They sung in codes. They would sing songs and they would send out chants, and it would be codes for, like, when Nelson Mandela was apartheid era, when he was just a revolutionary, he was out in the street, he was organizing, he was, getting the people together and getting them on code, and, who are against the apartheid. So when they finally caught him and arrested him, they had songs singing, well, what jail was Mandela in? And it was beautiful watching or learning about the history and hearing some of the songs. I'm going to play one of the clips of the songs right now when they're talking about where's Nelson Mandela. And I'm going to let you hear. I only have like about 60 seconds of it. Come right back. If you see, all right, let me see. Now, if you see, that was such a beautiful melody tune, and how in sync the people are over there. Beautiful, beautiful song. So I will be back in 2000. I'll be back in 2019, and we're gonna make history. We're gonna do amazing things while people are out here talking on YouTube and talking on Instagram, and talking about what we need to do, what we should do. Urbantoons is out here making things happen. We're doing, and we're doing it on the lower scale, going up. We're starting with the young, and we're going to spread out to the old. Because I have stuff that I had years ago that I wanted to execute, like my Life Master Key system, which was like 5 years ago, on how to fix credit, how to start a business, the power of your thoughts, different things, marketing the product. Now, that was 5 years ago. I'm more advanced with technology and more information from that period of time to this period of time, because now I have a lot of powerful resources in the state, out of the state. In Africa, I have resources in China. I have people I can actually text on my phone and be like, look, this is what I need. Can you make this happen? And it's a go. So what I know now, I can help people who want to start their business, who want to start a business, create a product, get busy, become relevant in society. If you want to fix your credit, something more, the most significant thing you can really do, especially for any business owner, is your credit. Like Jay said, what separates the Jewish people and how they bought everything in America? Credit. That's how he did it. Something like fixing your credit is so vital and very important, especially for black businesses. I'm not gonna go off the subject, but I'm gonna tell this little story about what this black business owner told me back in April. It was actually back in April before I left to go to Africa. And he told me, he was like, look, I've been in business for XYZ years. And I think he had a t-shirt store, an equipment, a t-shirt store in a mall. It was actually in Cheltenham Mall for people who are in the Philadelphia area. He had a stand in the store and a physical store. He had a stand and he had a physical store. And he was telling me, like, a little Jewish guy, would see him all the time buying his product, and he, walked up to him. It's like, how can you use your money all the time to buy a product? And he was like, what do you mean? It's business. He's like, well, that's the reason why black people businesses don't last that long, because you guys use your own money. So when you're exhausted of resources with the cash flow, you go out of business. He's like, you have to start using their money, use other people's money, get credit. Buy things on credit, sell your product, use the money, flip it back, keep going over and over, like the cycle. He like, you guys use your money and you cycle your own resources, and when that resource dwindle, nothing else you can do. You can't buy product, you can't pay this, you can't pay it up, you got da-da-da-da-da. You're out of business. So he took that advice and he incorporated that into his life. So he started, using business credit. And he's like, man, I have a $30,000 credit line. I said, whoa, really? He's like, yeah, man, because I was excited. I told him I had received an Urbantoons credit card from American Heritage. And he's like, oh, that's good. Congratulations. I'm like, yeah, I'm really, building my business credit up. He's like, bro, take that. He's like, use your credit card, but pay it off every month. Don't leave a balance. They're going to give you more money. He's giving me like great tips, where the same tips he gave me and the same tips that I learned 5 years ago about, business and credit and how to boost your credit. The tips that people don't really tell you, the stuff they need to talk about in school, which they don't. Like, I had this stuff in this Life Master Key program. And it's crazy because around that time, DJ Khaled was running around talking about, I got the keys. So I'm like, damn, I can't even release this self-help program because I don't want people to think I'm running off of, DJ Khaled or riding DJ Khaled's wave. When I received that phrase, Life Master Keys, from the author Napoleon Hill, and the book was Think and Grow Rich. And the last chapter of that book, he spoke about the keys of life, or the Life Master Key, So I'm like, ooh, this is smooth. I'm going to turn that into a program, The Final Keys. So when DJ Khaled read the same book by Napoleon Hill, so DJ Khaled, was just running with, I got the keys. But that wasn't the original DJ Khaled idea. It wasn't a DJ Khaled creation. It was actually Napoleon Hill. But that's neither here nor there. This episode, I just wanted to, tell people like, yo, we're in the game. We're legitimate. We got this 501c3. We're ready to turn it up in America. We're going to turn it up in Africa. We're going to turn it up where our people are located. We're going to turn it up. And what I really want to do in America too, I want to start doing, like, I guess in the summertime, creating a Urbantoons book fair, because I've been trying to get in a lot of these book fairs, especially in Philadelphia. And this one lady will not let me, I'm going to throw it under the bus, so be it. I've been trying, as soon as I started Urbantoons, like, look, can I be a part of the book fair? I'm from Philly. No, let me see your books. So she would give me the runaround. So every year that I was like, yo, what's up? Can I be a part of the book fair? Like, I'm local. I'm a local author. Never respond back. So I'm like, you know what? So be it. I'm like, you know what? So be it. I don't want to be a part of your book fair. I'm cool. So when I'm up to a higher level, and when you reach out to me, I'm be like, nah, I'm cool. But with what I have now, I can start my own book fair. And I can bring authors in who have books that they want to sell their books or give them away, however we want to do it, however we work out our situation. So I will start doing annually book fairs. That's one thing. It's one of my objectives. Objective 2 will be, I want to get a building somewhere. It'll be Urbantoons Enrichment Program, U.E Enrichment Program building, and teach kids publishing or business, something simple, maybe art. Show them how to make beats or stuff like that. That's part of the arts things in STEM, and I can get funded for this stuff. There's money allocated for this to nonprofits. So what I want to do is make it where the kids will come in to my establishment and walk out with something where they can take it into the world, or say that I will show them how to create a book and take them to events and help them sell their book, and let them show them firsthand how to carry yourself, how to introduce yourself to customers, how to sell a product. So I will show these kids how to be hands-on in creating and hands-on in distribution. So I have a lot of ideas in my head where what I am going to execute. So that's going to be like super, super dope. Super dope. So I would look for the Urbantoons, a place somewhere up here, something light. And somebody will pay for that. So, I'll get the money allocated to pay for that situation. So it's going to be really, really good, really fun. So I will be looking for some great people, because I can't do everything by myself. I've made it this far. I created Urbantoons, wrote these books, put these books out, invested in myself, reflipped it in myself, doing things that black people do in business, where the little Jewish guy was like, you shouldn't do that. Now I'm in a place in life where these people that mess with me, they actually like throwing me credit lines. So I'm like, okay, I see how this thing works. So I'm in a different space now than when I started. And I'm just going to show people how to get, where I'm at or close, especially what they're doing, especially with their program too. Like, I want to buy other authors' books and be able to send them to Africa, send them wherever I'm distributing books too. Like, I'm not, trying to grandstand on people. Like, I have 12 books, but other people have books too that don't get a lot of recognition, and sales ain't like that. So I want to grab self-published authors. Like, look, let me grab your book. Let me buy like 100 or 500 books and send them to Africa, or send them over here, or send them to the book fair, and give them away for free. There's money allocated towards that where I'm not going to even lose a quarter. So I'm in the business of helping people and helping our people. So I want to make it a win-win situation. That's the whole point, and that's the whole gist of U.E Enrichment Program. But people, I don't want to stay on here and ramble too long. I was just a little excited, and I wanted to cut this microphone on and talk about the great news that I received last week. I hope everybody have a great and productive week this week, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.